Scott Stinson. Some people leave a mark through their profession. Others leave a legacy through service. Scott Stinson has done both. Scott's journey with East St. Louis began in the fall of 2012 with a simple mission: to play a tennis match and document a history of forgotten tennis courts for his blog, STL Forgotten Courts. Along with fellow tennis enthusiast Stan Angelov, Scott traveled to East St. Louis inspired by one of tennis's greatest champions, Jimmy Connors. Connors' roots run deep in East St. Louis. His grandfather, John T. Connors, served as a 3-term mayor of the city, and his mother, Gloria Connors, introduced him to tennis on the courts at Jones Park. Those courts helped launch the career of a young boy who would grow up to become one of the most successful players in tennis history. But when Scott and Stan arrived, they found the historic courts in disrepair and unplayable. Instead of simply moving on, they told the story. Their blog post, Stalking Jimmy Connors, sparked interest throughout the tennis community and ignited a movement to restore tennis opportunities in East St. Louis. What started as a blog became a mission. In 2013, East St. Louis City Treasurer Joe Lewis invited the United States Tennis Association, or USTA, to participate in the city's 40 Days of Nonviolence initiative. Beginning in 2014, Scott and a team of volunteers helped bring tennis instruction to dozens of children each week. Programs were held at Lincoln Middle School, the Jackie Joyner Kersey Center, and the Mary Brown Center. Over the next several years, hundreds of young people were introduced to the game of tennis. Every child who completed the program received a brand new tennis racket, many receiving their very first opportunity to play the sport. Scott's efforts extended beyond the court. He helped bring the International Tennis Hall of Fame's Breaking the Barriers exhibit to East St. Louis City Hall, connecting residents with the rich history of tennis and highlighting the contributions of influential figures like Richard Hudlin, the St. Louis coach who mentored tennis legend Arthur Ashe. At the same time, Scott and his volunteers partnered with East St. Louis School District 189 to rebuild the girls' high school tennis program. They provided coaching, equipment, transportation support, and training opportunities to ensure young athletes had a chance to compete and succeed. Perhaps Scott's most visible accomplishment came with the rebuilding of the Lincoln Park tennis courts. Through grants from the USTA and the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, and in partnership with the East St. Louis Park District, nearly $300,000 was invested to construct 3 state-of-the-art tennis courts. The project was completed in 2017 and celebrated with a community ribbon-cutting ceremony. The momentum continued. In 2018, the East St. Louis Community Tennis Association was formally established as a nonprofit organization, with Scott serving as founder and president. Then, in May 2025, another major milestone was reached. 6 brand-new professional-grade tennis courts opened at East St. Louis Senior High School, replacing facilities that had been unusable for more than 2 decades and creating new opportunities for future generations of student-athletes. Scott Stinson has helped restore more than tennis courts. He has helped restore pride, opportunity, and a lasting legacy for the people of East St. Louis. Mr. Stinson is married to his wife Debbie, and together they are the parents of their son Shane.
My name is Shane S'more. Scott Stinson is my dad, so I've known him my whole lifetime.
And my name is Sequoia S'more. Scott is my father-in-law, and I've known him for 11 years.
We are so happy to be doing this video since he's being awarded this incredible honor. He is just the absolute best. I think he has continued to do so much good for anyone he's ever met, but especially in bringing tennis to East St. Louis, ensuring that it's accessible, that folks who want to learn tennis get an opportunity to do so, and play on courts that are brand new, making sure folks have rackets. It's been really cool to see how this program has evolved over so many years because of his care, his dedication, and how much he brings to that nonprofit. It's also been really cool to see him spearhead Pride St. Louis, the tennis tournament that he's been a part of planning, and he's just done so much good for the community.
Yeah, Scott is a really caring person, a really compassionate person. He's intelligent, and education and building community is always at the forefront of his mind. No matter what he's involved in, whether it's tennis, whether it's biking, whether it's things he does in his career with real estate, he's always focused on bringing people in, on educating people, on making sure people feel held and people feel seen and people feel valued and a part of a community and a part of what's going on.
Absolutely. To know Scott is to have an invitation to everything that he's planning or doing because he truly wants people to feel welcomed and a part of not only what he's doing, but a part of St. Louis and the programs that he's a part of. I think in addition to how amazing he is an absolute goofball. There isn't a fact that you don't know, and you can't help but laugh every time you're around my dad, which is, I think, his special sunshine that he brings to all that he does. Watching him as I grew up, he really helped me learn how to be the man that I am today by, showing me everything Sequoia said, leading with compassion, leading with purpose, ensuring that I'm bringing folks together and ensuring that, community is put at the forefront of all that I do. And we love my dad so very much. We love our dad so very much. It is a joy to love him, and it is such an honor for him to get this award.
Hello, my name is Rob Good, and I am here to speak about Scott Stinson, the honoree for the Emma L. Wilson King Foundation Award. I've known Scott probably now over 40 years. We were fraternity brothers together in college, and I am proud to say that he is my brother-in-law. And so I've known him for quite some time. And the two things I can tell you about him that are really important is that one, he is deeply committed to community. Wherever he goes, he seeks to build community. He was the social chairman of our college when we were young. He's built different communities in different places, and he truly wants people to come together for the greater good. And the second part that I think is very important about Scott is that he has a deep commitment to fairness and justice. Even when he was young and we were in college, when he saw things were unfair, when some people were given an advantage over others, he didn't like that, and he worked to change it. And those two aspects, community building and working towards fairness and access and opportunity for people, I think are linked to one of his greatest recent achievements, which is the building of the East St. Louis Tennis Foundation. He was playing tennis and seeking to build community by making people aware of courts that have deep history but aren't played very often. And when he was in Lincoln Park in East St. Louis, he realized that those courts and the historic nature of those courts needed attention, and that the community in East St. Louis could benefit from having the influx of tennis instruction and tennis opportunities. And from that very small initial dream or goal, he helped work with others, building community, building connections, listening to others, not coming in saying that he had all the answers, but seeking to find a way to make a stronger community through tennis. I would like you to know that he is deeply genuine. He is a person that you see what you get. He's not a super fancy guy, but he is a super honest and authentic guy. He has made my life better. we argue all the time, and we learn from each other, and we grow, and we have lots of fun together. And he has strengthened the community of my family, and he has brought me into other communities that I wouldn't have been a part of. So I want to thank the Emma L. Wilson King Foundation for honoring Scott Stinson for his work through all of these years. I wish him nothing but the best.
The Emma L. Wilson King Foundation is proud to present its Lifetime Achievement Award on behalf of a grateful community. A community Mr. Stinson is proud to call home. Your dedication to public service and education personifies gold standards of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and welcome 2026 Emma L. Wilson King Foundation honoree, Scott Stinson.